Alright guys, today we're diving into one of War Thunder's strangest and most slept on vehicles, the Porsche Tiger, or if you wanna be fancy, the Pz.Bef.Wg. Yeah, I know that name is mouthful. Let's just stick with Porsche Tiger because honestly, that's already weird enough. Now, I'll be real with you. This is one of those vehicles that barely anyone's talk about. You don't see it in matches very often. You don't hear people hyping it up. And when you bring it out, most players are like, wait, what the hell is that thing? But here's the deal. The Porsche Tiger is actually way better than people give it credit for. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the most underrated heavy tanks at its BR, and today I'm gonna tell you exactly why. So let's rewind a little bit. Early 1940s, Germany's looking to build a new heavy tank, something that could dominate the battlefield. Two big names step up to the plate, Henschel and Porsche. Both companies whip up their designs for what would eventually become the Tiger tank. Porsche's idea was ambitious. They went all in with fancy engineering, using gasoline-electric drive systems, basically a hybrid tank before Tesla was even a thing. On paper, it was futuristic. In reality, it was not great. The drivetrain was complicated, unreliable, and broke down constantly. Imagine trying to drive a tank that's basically one big mechanical science experiment. The army tested it, said no thanks, and went with the Henschel's more practical design instead. That design became the Tiger I, one of the most famous tanks of all time. But here's the kicker. Porsche had already built about 100 chassis before the rejection, and instead of scrapping them, the Germans said, well, we're not just gonna throw away perfectly good steel, so those chassis were converted into Ferdinand and Elefant tank destroyers. But one single chassis ended up being converted into a command tank prototype. And that's the weird misfit we now have in War Thunder, the Porsche Tiger. So in a way, when you're playing it, you're driving the alternate timeline what if Tiger. A Tiger that almost was. Now in-game, the Porsche Tiger is sitting at 5.7 and at first glance, it looks pretty similar to the regular Tiger I. Same general boxy design, same chunky turret, same classic German heavy. But here's the thing, it's not just a reskin, it's got some unique features that actually make it stand out. And in some situations, first off, let's talk firepower. You're still rocking the legendary 88mm cannon. Everyone knows this gun. It's accurate, it hits hard, and it has those amazing German shells that tend to one-shot just about anything they pen. Whether you're facing Shermans, T-34s, or IS-1s, that 88mm can deal with all of them reliably. It's not flashy, but it's consistent, and that's honestly one of the best things you can have at this BR. But the real gem of the Porsche Tiger, the armor. This thing is tanky, like deceptively tanky. Gaijin gave it an extra 100mm bolted plate on the front hull, which brings its frontal armor up to a whopping 200mm. At 5.7, that's pretty absurd. Most of the vehicles you'll be facing simply cannot pen that head on unless they've got a high caliber gun or they get a lucky shot. So picture this, you roll into a choke point, angle just a little bit, and suddenly you're this immovable wall of steel. Shermans can't do anything, T-34-85s are bouncing, even IS-2s, which are normally terrifying at this BR range, struggle if they don't aim carefully. They can still pen you, and they absolutely do, but again, it can bounce if they don't aim good enough. The armor gives you breathing room to make mistakes, and in War Thunder, that's huge. And let's not forget the reverse speed. This might sound minor, but trust me, it's a game changer. The Porsche Tiger can actually reverse almost as fast as it goes forward, which means you can poke out, take a shot, and then zip back into cover without exposing your sides. Regular Tiger drivers dream of having that ability. With this tank, it's real. Of course, it's not perfect. Far from it. The biggest issue? Turret reverse. And I'm not exaggerating here. It's painfully slow. If a T-34 flanks you, you're not going to get that turret around in time. If a sneaky M18 zooms past, forget it. You're cooked. So the golden rule with this thing is always keep your gun pointed toward the biggest threat. Don't rely on the turret to save you, it won't. That huge weak spot, the cupola, which basically absorbs everything, so you need to watch out for that as well. Mobility wise, it's also nothing special. In fact, it's slower than the regular Tiger I and it feels a bit sluggish. especially on rough terrain. You're not racing anywhere in this thing, but that's fine. You're a heavy, play it like a heavy. Take strong positions, hold angles, and don't overextend. And then of course, there's the fact while your frontal armor is amazing, your sides are still paper. The moment someone flanks, it's over. So map awareness is critical. If you're not paying attention, even a random 75mm gun from a Sherman can end your run in seconds. So how do you make the Porsche Tiger work? It comes down to positioning and discipline. You're not a brawler in the middle of the map, you're not a fast flanker, you're a lane holder. The best way to use it is to find a strong choke point or open lane when you can use that 200mm of armor and your amazing gun to full effect. Angle just slightly, watch the weak spots, and you'll bounce shot after shot while dishing out reliable 88mm punishment. If you ever wanted to feel like the final boss in a match, this is how you do it. And here's the part people sleep on. That reverse speed makes you a monster in peak A-boom situations. Poke out, shoot, back up immediately, and repeat. You're basically abusing the kind of gameplay that most heavies can't pull off because they're too slow in reverse. The Porsche Tiger nails it. So why don't more people use this thing? Honestly, I think it's a mix of two reasons. One, it's kind of overshadowed by the regular Tiger I. Everyone knows a Tiger, everyone loves a Tiger. So that's the go-to choice. The Porsche Tiger, it's like the weird cousin nobody invites to the party. And two, it doesn't really stand out on paper unless you know what you're looking for. Most players see Tiger with slow turret and think, nah, I'll pass. But the truth is, you realize how just tanky and reliable it is. It's not flashy, it's not meta-defining, but it's solid, and sometimes solid is all you need. To put this into perspective, let's compare it to a few vehicles at the same PR range. Against the T-3485, you've got way better survivability and just as much kill potential. Against a T-29, you're not really strong enough for that, but you're also not on 6.7. But if you do get up to that high, well, it's GG. I'd say the highest BR of effectivity this can go to is at 6.3. So against your own lineup, the regular Tiger I has more flexibility in turret rotation but less armor and worse reverse speed. It's basically a trade-off. Porsche Tiger is the defensive king, regular Tiger I is the all-rounder depending on your playstyle. You might actually prefer the Porsche Tiger once you give it a fair shot. So yeah, that's the Porsche Tiger. A failed experiment in history, a forgotten oddball in War Thunder, but honestly, one of the most underrated vehicles you can play at 5.7. Amazing armor, the legendary 88, sneaky good reverse speed. If you play it right, this thing feels like a monster. But if we're talking on who's better overall, the Tiger I or this, well, I can definitely tell you, it's the Tiger I. Now, the only question is, have you actually tried it or is it just sitting in your lineup collecting dust? Because trust me, if you dust it off, you might be surprised at how much fun it actually is. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Let me know your best Porsche Tiger stories in the comments and I'll catch you guys in the next one.